Hi, gay. Happy Pride Month. Welcome to Crundimented Actual Plays Pride One Shot using glitter hearts. My name is Caleb Wade. I will be your GM this evening, day, whenever you listen to this. My pronouns are he, they, and I'm playing literally everyone but the player characters. I have three wonderful people with me, two familiar voices, and yet one person who's new to our little neck of the wood. Why did I say wood instead of woods? Goodness, gosh golly. If our newcomer would like to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Hector Reyes. My pronouns are he, they. Today I'm going to be playing Carlos Lopez, pronouns he, him, who goes by the moniker of Sueño when he goes out to fight crime. He is a goth, a witch, uh, with like a strong Mexican flavor.
Theta.
Hi, I'm Theta. I was about to say Theta, and I was like, wait,
Work.
no. I'm Theta, who uses they them pronouns. Better. I'm going to be playing Nuna Kim. All slash any pronouns. And Nuna is I'm trying to remember, a unrivaled tactician uh, from the sadness domain deal. Nuna is, just really into stars. Like that's a thing. Super spacey. Not actually. They're not a spacey person, but she enjoys space.
And last but certainly not least, Angela.
Hello there, lovelies. My name is Angela Lemos Mogrovejo. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Eva Ramirez. She is for her everyday identity, a true believer, and her magical archetype of the warrior with a mystical connection of trust. She is a local, effectively just comic artist who hangs around a lot of different places and is just kind of head in the clouds kind of person and is always kind of thinking about fantasy and make believe pretty much all the time.
Alrighty. So, allow me to set the scene. In the small town of Star Valley, USA, the month has come. It's Pride. Pride celebrations are happening all month. The storefronts have storefronts have gotten into their rainbow capitalism gig. Mom and pop stores who actually are parts of the community and have supported the LGBT plus community like the entire time are just like, okay. Unfortunately for our small little town, trouble is afoot. On this clear summer day, it's around, I want to say, 72 degrees. A little cloudy, but not too bad, not to ruin any of the festivities. Everyone's getting ready to watch the parade. It's a chill time. Let's see here. Nuna, where do we find you on this lovely summer day?
I think, it's summer. I think Nuna is kind of just. How big is the town? Let's ask that. Let's start with that actually. How big is the city town place thing?
It's not too big. Let me see. 1 second. I need to. It's got like maybe 900 people in it. It's a small town. Like it does have a mall, thankfully, but so there's something to do. But other
That's
than that, it's just
tiny.
this kind of small, kind of remote town
Oh,
in somewhere USA.
I
okay,
have a
that's
quick
tiny.
I have a quick question though.
Yes,
Is this like one of those like gay vacation towns, like P Town on the East Coast? It's like a small community, but it's very
it's
accepting
real
of
try. It's
LGBT
trying
people.
real hard to be.
Okay, I just wanted to see because small towns with pride parades tend to be more on the P Town. Like they exist, small town, you know, small town gay bars exist. They're great. I just wanted to check in. Sorry, Theta,
Yeah,
didn't mean
yeah,
to.
there's definitely a vibe of like, oh no, the white gays are down.
I had to mute
And then
my
it's like,
mic.
oh my god, this is such a charming place. Wow, why don't we come here every summer? And the
I
local shop
love
owners are
the
just like,
antique shops.
uh.
Yeah.
Definitely some slight microaggressions.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh god.
So yeah, I think Nuna has picked up some ice cream or a popsicle and is currently just like hanging out kind of I think on the top of a smaller building, kind of just looking out, maybe waiting for some friends. It's summer. So this means he's like on break. So I think he's just kind of hanging out like, yeah, ice cream.
Is it sea salt ice cream?
um I like sea salt ice cream, but no, I don't think it is. I think it's like raspberry, vanilla
That's for my
swirl,
Kingdom
whatever.
Hearts fans out there.
I've actually that's not what I associate with it. I associate it with salt and straw. Oh wait, yeah. Shout out to them. Good ice cream.
Yeah.
Nuna, could you tell me what your magical or mystical creature is? Your magical companion?
I think Nuna's. Oh god. Part of me wants to say tardigrade because I'm panicking. I'm not gonna say tardigrade. I'm not going to say tardigrade.
I mean, you can have a tardigrade.
I'm not going to say tardigrade. That's not an animal.
It's a mystical creature that is guiding you on your path to being a superhero.
I feel like a tardigrade is the worst energy I could bring. Because then we would just have to deal with a giant tardigrade. Does anyone want to see a giant tardigrade? Let's be realistic here.
I mean,
You,
this is an
Hector.
audio. This is a podcast format, so no one's going to see a tardigrade anyways. They're going to hear
I'm
about it.
shaking my head. But they'll have it in their mind.
Yeah, you have to like imagine that.
Yeah.
No. I
And
think
technically, yes, this is a podcast, so no one's seeing anything.
this is true. No one's seeing it, but you have to like imagine that in your mind, and that's just a certain energy to things I don't think I'm going to bring. I want to say it's I think Nunes is a peacock, but like instead of a normal tail, the tail has kind of the galaxy printed across it. So its normal green iridescence has switched to the blue kind of matching your lipstick that no one can see.
Right? There'll be a picture on Twitter. It's fine.
Just this blue
So,
right here.
as this peacock sort of springs forth from whatever energy empowers you, thanks to the powers that be, the nebulous powers that be, assholes. They sort of like stretch a little bit and go, something's on the wind. You know that, right?
The stars have been reading something like that recently. Yeah.
I forgot you were an astrology person.
Yeah.
I just imagine the peacock and Nuna going, eh.
Nuna predicts the future, and that's how they do technician work.
Mhm.
Tactician, that's it.
The peacock. Does the peacock have a name?
Uh, it, Peacock should have a name. Um,
The name could just be Peacock.
I'm going to say Kepler.
Kepler.
Listen, the only thing going through my head right now is space terms, and Kepler's one of them.
So Kepler, like, kind of like walks on the edge, like sort of around you, like sort of pacing, and they go, I don't know how to feel right now. It's strange. Many forces are going to combine soon, and I'm not sure if you're ready.
Well, the only way to know if I'm ready is to face them, I think. So I
Confident
think,
answer. It's like you're a
thank you.
superhero or something.
I know, it's almost as if I can see the future and I fight the forces of evil semi regularly. And I think Nuna just
That's
kind
so
of
Nuna.
takes a lick of ice cream and then twirls their finger around, producing some just like a cloud of stars almost, like a nebula, a mini nebula.
No need to show off. I get it. I get it. Just be careful. Whatever's coming, it's big and it's not happy. And Kepler disappears into some stardust.
Hmm. Guess I didn't want ice cream.
All right. As Nuna continues to eat their ice cream, Carlos, where do we find you?
So Carlos is actually over in the staging area where the leather community is, and he's only wearing like black like shorts that are kind of form fitting, that cut up like that kind of fold up at the knee, that are very fashionable, especially amongst the white gays. A really nice like custom made leather harness.
Work.
Um, but the kind that have the two O-rings on the chest. He isn't where he's shirtless, and his olive tone skin is kind of showing off. He has some nice like ankle length Doc Martens that are maybe a little. You can't see this the audience, but just to let the audience know, he's got like insoles in there, like the athletic insoles, because he knows he's going to be walking for like 2 miles. Um, and
Yes.
and some really nice like Ray-Ban glasses that his grandmother bought for him for his birthday, like, and it's like one of the most expensive things that he owns. And then he has like a little bag with all of his other stuff that he's just sort of putting on the back of the truck where everyone's keeping their gear, to walk with the leather contingent. Um, his but he does have on his side, like hooked to his belt, the sugar skull, um, that is uh, that he can telepathically communicate with. I'm going to call him Pedro. Yes, he's an avatar of a dog god, but he's an avatar, not the god. But he's also the god. But he has a different name, so he just calls him Pedro. But he's keeping his eye out because, like, he just has a feeling that something is happening. Oh
Okay.
yes, and he has short cropped hair, just for another visual, shaved and kind of long and kind of falling over his face a little bit on top.
Since you are keeping an eye out for danger, I'd like for you to roll me the first roll of the night.
Yes. All
I'd like for
right.
you to roll me a be vigilant roll, so roll plus mental.
Gotcha. Plus mental, and then I think I have. Do your mystical connection moves only kick in when you're transformed? I'm trying to remember that because I have
I
I have pensiveness, which I think lets me.
I will say that for this, feel free to use it.
Okay, so pensiveness, which is from sadness. I'm also connected to sadness. I forgot to mention that. Um, but it's more like the sadness of mourning the dead, sort of the sadness of being disconnected from your loved
Instead of the
ones.
sadness of the stars.
Yeah, no, it's not the sadness of the stars. It is the sadness of a funeral. It's the sadness of having to let go of someone that you cared about, and accepting that they're going into that. So I get. Oh no, this isn't a glimpse of the truth. This is a. I thought it was
Be
glimpse of the
vigilant.
truth. Okay, so I rolled an 8 and then plus one mental, a 9.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, hold 1. Uh, you can ask one of these questions to me. and I will, or you can use that one hold to ask a question of me.
Or can I hold on to the hold for something later? I'm trying to
You
remember
can.
what the hold is. Okay. Let me hear the questions. I'm gonna pull up these
What's my
notes.
best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers that I haven't noticed? What's most vulnerable to me? What seems to be the monster's weakness? What's my best way to protect the area or victims here? And if you act on these answers in a meaningful way, you gain +1 to rolls ongoing for the entire
Oh,
scene.
okay. Are there any dangers here that I have not spotted?
As you're looking around, keeping an eye out and against the leather around the leather community, off to the side you see an arguing couple. They it's very hushed, but it's still like sort of like changing the vibe a little bit
Right.
because they are also going to be part of the parade in like just different communities. Um, it seems that they are fighting over what this means for them.
Oh.
Like one side is like this is the event that they've like always they've been waiting for all year, the one they wait for every year,
Yeah.
just to be like. And you can tell, you recognize this person from last year. They did not have a non-binary pin last year,
Oh. Okay.
and their partner is supportive, but it's just like, well, it's just pride. Like, I mean, it isn't that deep, is it?
Oh. So I'm going to walk over. And as I walk over, I'm kind of listening more to the conversation, trying to gauge body language, figuring out, oh, how is this dangerous? Well, it is dangerous. It could harsh the vibe. I would like to glimpse the truth.
Feel free.
Okay, thank you. All right, so
And since you are acting on that answer in a meaningful way, gain +1 to this roll.
yay. Okay, so I have the moves. What's really going on?
Mm-hmm.
And pensiveness from sadness. So pensiveness gives me a +1 to glimpse the truth. And then I believe what's really going on, which is page 26. Ooh, these character sheets are so smart to be like to give you the space where your power is.
Yeah.
Um you are used to looking for things others don't notice. When you glimpse the truth, you can roll plus mystical instead. You might not like what you see though. Okay, so my mystical is 2, and
Mm-hmm.
then pensiveness adds +1, and then I have +1 for acting on it from the previous roll. That the ongoing, right? So that's a total of +4.
+4 to the roll.
Here we go. Hold on just a second. I have to just for the podcast, I'm moving my camera to be honorable. So that is a 6 and a 5.
Fantastic. So that is a 15.
Yes. Okay.
So on a 12 plus, you can ask me any question that is not on the list,
Oh, wow.
and you get to hold 3. Since you got to 15, I will say you get to hold 4.
Okay, this is cool. I've never. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. Each hold can be spent to ask the GM one of the following questions. This is so neat. I love this hold
And
system.
now, and since you got above and beyond, ask any question. You don't have to be constrained by the list.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Are the is this a difference of opinion regarding gender identity in
No.
this couple? No. Okay. All right. Um, good. Then I won't walk up assuming that. Um,
You get the sense that the difference in gender identity is not the problem. It's while one partner is supportive, it's the difference in conviction that's the
okay.
problem.
Okay. Um, hmm. I'm gonna ask what's about to happen.
What's about to happen is that from both of them, you see these very tiny wisps of royal blue cosmic energy. It seems that only you can see them. And over the partner that's just like, I mean, it's just pride. Like, we don't have it's like, though the parade is important and celebrating is important, do we have to really put ourselves out there? Like, if we live with pride every day, is this as important?
What could I
Like,
say to de-escalate the situation? And I think that's the third. Okay.
let me finish up the second answer,
Oh,
if you
sure.
don't
Go
mind.
ahead. Sorry.
No worries.
I apologize.
With that part, with the partner that is trying to still be supportive, is like, but I mean, the royal blue seems to grow as
Mm,
that sort of dissension rises. And at this point, providing a distraction would help,
yeah.
because it's
Uh,
just like, okay, hey, everything okay? Like, it could be as simple as that.
yeah. I walk up and I'm like, "Hello, Happy Pride,
Oh, hi, happy pride. It's like,
Happy
yeah, yeah,
Pride. You want a
happy
drink?" And then
pride.
he like digs into his back pocket and pulls out a flask.
And the partner with like the bigger like royal blue cosmic energy, like sort of sifting off of them. Yeah, I could definitely use one. Takes the
Yeah, here
flask
we
and
go.
just takes a swig.
Yeah, it's secure.
And thanks. Yeah.
Are
Look,
we gonna have a good time? Which group are you guys marching with? And I like. I mean, it's
uh,
obvious where I am. Does he like motions to the harness?
well, I'm gonna be marching with the people who identify as non-binary for the first time,
That's
and
fantastic. We have several NV people over in the marching with us in the leather community as well too.
their partner goes, yeah, I'm not marching in the parade this year, but I'll be on the sidelines.
Oh, do you want to march in the parade?
Well, and like as they start to think, you can see that royal blue energy intensify.
But if you want to chill from the sidelines and cheer on your partner, that's a totally viable way to enjoy. That way you're going to be all relaxed and everything. They're going to need you. You know what? I've walked this parade a couple of times and you're going to be so tired and you're going to be happy that he's on the sidelines waiting for you, or that they're on the sidelines. And he does that. He switches from he to they. That was not a flub up. That was in character. They're going to be happy that they're on the sidelines. um,
As you correct yourself, like with as Carlos corrects themselves, like the blue energy actually disappears from the NB person in front of you, just
mhm.
completely gone. Like, they are just like, like someone use my pronouns,
Yeah.
but for their partner, I like for you to roll a convince.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's not really what I'm good at, but I might as well try,
That's
right?
plus
What's some
emotional. Hmm.
it's a plus emotion. May I use my hold to give my no, wait, on my ongoing, that's what it is. To Is this
You are still
apply to
being
that?
vigilant, so yes.
Okay, cool. Whew, all right. So I rolled a 9,
Okay.
4 and a 5. Because it turned into a straight
Uh
roll, because my emotion is -1.
okay. So for this, like, I don't think you'll need to reassure them. Like, the partner just goes, yeah, I think for this year, I want to sit on the sidelines, but of course. And they sort of like look at he sort of looks at his partner with like this just absolutely loving gaze, and the royal blue energy like fades. Though there you can still there's like this small amount in like the center of his chest. That's I'd celebrate him any day if I could. And like the envy person's just like, stop. And for clarification, the non-binary person marching, their pronouns are he they.
All right.
Yeah.
I kind of see that, and I just want to just try to put it away. My flask was like, "You both have an amazing pride. My name is Carlos. Maybe afterwards, if you guys want, we could all go get a drink, and it'll be great. But I gotta go catch up with my people. I'll see you at the end of the parade. What were your names again?
Uh, and the
Oh,
non-binary
I'll just
person
take their
goes,
names.
it is Xander and Brent.
Yeah. All right. It was great meeting you guys, and then I just kind of jog back towards the leather contingent, uh, while in the back of my head looking around for more of that cosmic energy to see maybe where it was coming from. But if you want to move on to somebody else, I'm cool.
The voice in your skull sort of like pops up in your mind and goes, "Whew, sad vibes."
Oh, yeah, I know. I was just a situation that normally I don't care, but it's Pride. Everybody needs to be happy on Pride.
You saw that with that one guy, right?
Yes, I did. I think someone is here feeding off of the tension and the strife. There's been so much going on in the community that I think Pride is like ripe for this kind of thing, but who would
Keep your
do
eyes up,
this?
kiddo.
I will.
And you can feel the voice like sort of fade. Like, and I assume like as the sugar skull speaks, like the eyes glow with like this sort of like deep, like resolving, like this deep cobalt,
Hmm.
like the color of like a very deep pool of water.
Yes.
It just reminds me of Thornambular, the wishing skull from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. So Eva, where do we find you?
Ava's been chilling out by like a comic book shop, just literally just like sipping a smoothie outside because she knows if she goes inside with a drink, they're not going to be very happy if I spill anything by accident. But she's just like doodling in like a sketch pad.
Mm-hmm.
She's just being really chill. And I figured out what her look is. Her look is if Ramona Flowers was instead wearing a crop top and had like very, very like more butch level like hair. Just basically if Ramona Flowers wore a crop top and was butch. Same height though, so like same like really tall kind of gal, and same like really like purple pinkish kind of hair, but basically she's just a brown Ramona Flowers. Just chilling there by comic book shop.
I
She just
love
like
that.
has a
I love
smoothie.
that for her.
She just has a smoothie and she's just like chilling there watching the march go by, and she's like, just join the parade. It's gonna be fine. Just join the parade. No one's gonna say anything. She's just like looking down at her crop top and she's like, fuck, did I forget to wear a bra again? Oh crap, I did. Oh well. No one's gonna care for this one. She doesn't think anyone else will care, but she's self-conscious about her outfit.
Your mystical creature is a lizard, right?
Yes, it is a little skink lizard. His name is Nidhogg.
Let me get a good look. Oh goodness, that's adorable.
Yes, that's why I chose a skink lizard. They're very cute.
They appear on your shoulder and they just go, well, I mean, if you need one, I'm sure I could use all of my magical power for this instance for the entire day to create you a bra.
She's like, nah, I'll just.
I mean, I'd be tapped out and I wouldn't be able to like have guidance, but it's almost like you are an incredibly tall, incredibly buff person and I believe in you, but the option's there.
I mean, I appreciate the options there, Nidog. I think I'll just start to do. She like walks over to like put her smoothie like away and like recycling and stuff after she's done drinking it, and she's just like doing one more sketch, and she's probably like also like slightly nervous trying to walk into the group because she sees like three gals who she's been on dates with walking by. I leave it up to the GM to determine whether or not they were good or not. I don't think they were
They
bad.
all
It's
wave at
just
you.
yeah, she's just like mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. She
Well, they seem
mildly
nice.
loosens her crop top. It's still there, so it's holding everything in place, but it's mildly looser, and she's like, okay, it's like, get to it, Ava. You got this. You got this. Oh, the crop top also is held together by like a pin that looks like it's almost like a little insignia of a phoenix, like with its wings outstretched. So it's like a clip holding it together.
Because we can't get away from that iconography,
No,
can we?
no, no. I refuse to ever get rid of this. I have a hyperfixation, and every single one of my characters will interact with this hyperfixation. This I have promised you.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So as Eva starts to make the first steps towards the parade, with three of her exes like, yeah, come on, join us. You know, it's Pride. No grudges. You start to hear sudden screams of panic.
Oh,
And I
no.
will say the three of you hear this. Your magical creatures all sort of look, with the exception of Carlos, is like, where?
This skull, I imagine the skull like moves on its own like a puppet, and like just a little like, you know, just a little
and this
Tim
is for
Burton-esque,
this is just for
like...
us. Just a quick. This is a quick turn of the skull. As you see this incredibly tall, I want to say 7'5" woman in this sort of like flowing indigo blue duochrome dress that is trailing long behind her.
Oh God, marry me.
Her hair is pinned back, but it seems as if like it's like sort of like that messy pin back when you've been going through something. And like even if you try to keep yourself together, things just start seeping out of the cracks. Speaking of cracks, her visage pale and colorless, save for a soft tint of the shifting blues of her dress. The visage is cracked, like thin fractures on the cheek, connecting to what seem to be cracks coming from the tear ducts of the eye. Sis is going through it. She looks at the proceedings, sighs, and as she holds her hand up, Carlos, the partner, Brent, who you were speaking to earlier, seems to stop in his place as that cosmic blue energy just is starting to be ripped from him. And more people around the parade, some tourists, some shopkeepers. Everyone is happy to be here, but due to their personal insecurities, their hang-ups, their questioning of all of this, they all start to stop in place as they are enraptured by her sadness, and that energy is being ripped from them.
Ooh. Okay. As she all right. So in that moment, uh he looks right and looks left at people kind of all running around, and then all of a sudden you see this smoke that's bluish tinged come out of the mouth and eyes of the sugar skull, and it starts swirling around him, and then eventually you just start seeing like wet white robes kind of billowing as if they're underwater, similar to La Lorna, the drowned woman. Um, and it looks like for a moment, he's up in the air, like he's floating, like he's underwater. And then there's this explosion of smoke, and you can hear like flamenco music, like mariachi kind of playing in
Hell
the
yeah.
background as he like spins around, and as the smoke and the water like explode outward, his face becomes completely covered in black and white face paint in the style of Dia de los Muertos. And his outfit becomes sort of like this long, like inky black, like lacy gown that is reflected with that same cobalt light that was in the skulls, is like kind of shine, so you can see like there's like stitching and little pieces just sort of reflecting the cobalt, so it's not completely like inky black. And then there's also like some accents of white in there, and the skull like is no longer there. Instead, like the skull is become like a little bigger. I know I said it was no longer there. It's still there. But it's empty, because standing right next to him is this beautiful, colorful, all cool colors, blues, purples, cobalts, dog-like creature that's kind of lined in like silver and gold, like almost like pieces of Aztec motif, like armor, you could say. And then he just cracks open a fan that has like similar decorations to this one, and starts to make his way in between the Kent. I believe he's what was his name? The one that who's getting the energy pulled out
Brent.
of him. Brent, and he's going to try and like I don't have a power to do this. This is just the move I'm making, and I want to like spin the fan and try and stop the energy from being taken from him, because even if it's his sadness, it's not hers to take, and I want to make a protect someone roll.
First, can I just say, hell yeah. Second, I just imagine like your companion, the dog, just like stretching, just so thankful to be out of the skull for a little bit.
Yes.
Just following you faithfully.
Yes, I'm so excited. All right, we're gonna
roll
win this.
roll that protect someone.
Okay, here we go. I got a 5 and a 2, and then protect someone adds. Is it physical?
Persona.
Okay, well that's 0, but I got a 7.
On a 7 to 9, hold 1 and choose an option. Redirect the attack to yourself. Have the damage of the attack. Put the attacker in a bad position, giving an ally +1 forward against the attack, and deal the damage back to the attacker equal to your physical rate.
Deal damage. No, that's not going to be any good.
So I will say, in this instance, since you are trying to sever it, I will say, with your understanding of sorrow and sadness, you're able to sever it, and I will say, turn this woman's attention to you instead of Brent.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's...
And as that fan slices that cord masterfully, the woman turns to you and tilts her head a little bit before she says, I did not know there were others in this world that knew emotions such as mine. Interesting. But not enough to let you survive.
We'll see about that.
She takes whatever energy she has gathered. And you can see they are manifesting as maybe not letters but words of like I'm sorry and I'm not sure if I believe in this, and just all these like statements of uncertainty, of dissension, of insecurity. Is there anyone in this parade that you know personally, Sueño?
Mm, Papa Elliot, who is the head of like the Leather Coalition. He's kind of like a
She
mentor. Brought
takes
me into the community.
she takes a long look at you, and it seems that she's searching your soul for a moment because game recognizes game. And then her eyes shift to Papa Elliot. As she lets loose that energy, Papa Elliot is surrounded by all of these statements, all of these words, all of these feelings. And he falls to his knees, tears streaming down his face. I am Melancholia. And if I don't get to be happy, no one will. As the other two heroes watch this go down, and as the words slowly start to spread throughout the leather community after Papa Elliot, like a like this serpentine binding. Nuna and Eva, what do you do?
I think Nuna rushing in just quickly just changes. There's not even like a lineup magical goal sequence. I just think Nuna's like, fuck it, we can skip that. We're just gonna speed run this bit. And it's like done.
I
Done, ready to go.
I kind of imagine like as Nuna's like running like towards like the edge of the rooftop, the peacock like going after them, sort of like swirls into Nuna's form and that's how he transforms.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I feel that, but also I feel like maybe you know when you have the magical sequence, but they always stop. I feel like Nuna's is you have it going, but it's like it begins and you have Nuna centered, and then the next thing is like Nuna just running straight into this like out of the screen when you're watching them because it's like, oh no, this person's not staying still.
They've done
That's
that in Sailor
fantastic.
Moon, where the Sailor Scouts run, but their transformation takes place like as
No,
they're
no, I
like
don't even mean that it's
going.
like the camera's following them. I mean like the camera's expecting him to stay
Expecting like
still.
the sequence, and then Nuna's just
Oh
running
And
yeah.
through.
then runs off the screen.
It's like, okay, all right, cool.
I
there
wasn't
there
expecting.
also was a thing in like Lightspeed Rescue where because the Rangers go through like the shields of like what they do, like they can just summon the shield, like roll through it, and then they're transformed.
But no, yeah, Nuna's speed running the transformation right now. She's absolutely fucking speed running it. And I think she kind of runs in, looks around, and I think tries to I think he's trying to does he notice Sueño and Eva?
I will say that Nuna notices Sueño because Sueño is transformed.
Okay. Um I think Nuna does what Nuna generally does and kind of pulls up this glowing astrolabe, shifting it around and searching for just hints of the future and plans that they have made and run over for any contingency that can come up. Uh, and I think they use their move, uh, one step ahead, which says you've thought about every outcome and always have a contingency. Roll plus mental on a 12 plus. Every ally gets a plus one ongoing in the scene. On a 10 plus, one ally and you gain a plus ongoing plus one in the current scene. On a 7 through 9, one ally gains it. On a 6 or less, your careful planning puts your friend in danger. You gain the self-doubting and isolated conditions.
Feel free to roll it.
Okay.
Here we go.
Also,
and this is
since this is PBTA, you do get things if you fail. It's been a while. It's been a while for me personally running Glitter Hearts, but I will say if you fail the roll, you get a PowerPoint.
okay.
You also get XP. Am I 100% sure
see.
that's how it actually works? No, but this is a one shot, and this is my game. So
Yay!
It's fine. I'm trying to find like a second D6 right now. I was looking for my other like starry spacey D6, but I cannot find it, and that's incredibly annoying because I have like these.
that's so sad.
I know.
Also,
I can't find
Swenyo, I will
any.
say you have a PowerPoint for that creative use of trying to protect someone.
Thank you. Put that in there. And also, I think it says powerful one. Okay.
Okay, I'm moving my dice tray. So, come on, roll well. I believe in you. I have a plus fucking 3 to this. I better fucking roll well. Okay, so that is 8 plus 4, that is 12. So I actually do get a 12 plus. So every ally in this scene gets an ongoing plus 1 in the current scene.
Yay!
Swenyo and Eva, you as you are getting ready to fight and as you are in combat with this Melancholia, just the constellation of a peacock sort of swirls around you, gives you a little helpful a wink, and then dissipates. You feel more confident. You feel like, oh, we can do this.
This is interesting.
Eva, your lizard's just like, well, that was fucking weird. That's never happened before. There's other, and Eva, as you're looking around, you're kind of like, oh shit, am I not the only one?
It's definitely like one of those like I imagine like sitcom moments where like someone is seeing some weird stuff happening. She's just like pulling out and like finishing off a second smoothie as she was walking over and just like drops it, and she's like, okay, not gonna think about that for right now. Gonna do what I've done with most of things I thought about myself. Gonna acknowledge it, stick it in the back of my mind, and not engage with it again for another 4 or 5 years. And then she is also going to transform as well. Hers, she just like grasped the sort of brooch that's like holding her crop top together, which this is a poor idea to have this crop top being held by this brooch, but I don't care. And she chants, by the fury of Elden dragons, by the light of the soaring phoenix, I call upon the flame of old and unleash the wyvern's roar. And she like throws up the brooch into the air, and her body has become like entirely covered in flame. And you just see a moment where the brooch extends out, and it's like it suddenly turns into a long spear, but the end of it is like a massive like bird's head for the point on the tip. And like you just see like probably both Swenyo and Nina both see like a figure of light just leap up very high into the air, and then in the like up in midair you see a fully red, orange, and yellow armored like warrior of some kind just about to do like a full-on like plummet drop onto trying to protect cut some of the threads that are going for Papa Elliot as she's about to do a jump and dive downwards, and I want to try and roll to protect Papa Elliot.
Alrighty. As you are falling, your lizard, now a small dragon, is just like, finally! And it's just like flying around you.
It's like, I only get to come out like one time a week, but I'm gonna relish it as much as I can.
Exactly.
But so if that is rolling to protect someone, which is the intent, so that's roll plus persona. And so there's the +1 from Nunes, and then +2
Yes.
because I have strong persona. Persona! Which, I really needed all that because I got exactly a 7 with all the bonuses. So I really did need that.
Oof.
Yup. Hold 1.
So
I will
on a
choose
10 plus, hold 2.
No, I only got a 7 with the bonuses. I got 7 total.
Oh, the total was 7.
The total was 7. That's why I said I really did need the bonuses. So I was like, ooh, first roll, not so great. But I kind of imagine I start to go off course, but the peacock, it's like a starlight path that guides me back on course. And I'm going to choose... deal damage back to the attacker equal to physical rating. My physical rating is a +1, so I kind of just imagine she isn't able to fully like stop it from going after Papa Elliot, but she just drops the spear down and like punctures the threads, and it's like a little like spread of like fire just starts going and looping right back through all the little bits of melancholic unhappiness stretching out to everyone to burn her. So I have her attention.
As this victorious flame sort of burns away all of these insecurities, you kind of see Papa Elliot and the rest of the leather community sort of like stand up, and Papa Elliot kind of mutters, "I haven't cried like that in like 6 years. Holy shit."
Leave it up to the gays to see the bright side and breaking down into tears in the middle of Pride.
I mean, it was a little therapeutic. The leather community sort of like acts as like a buffer, trying to like get people out safely, with Papa Elliot sort of looking at you, Sueño. Sort of like looking at you with like a glint of familiarity before shaking his head and like working to help people.
I'm just gonna like
For the audience, that was a very big eyebrow wiggle.
Yeah, very big eyebrow wiggle. So he'll clack his fan in front of his face, as you heard the sound effect, and then waggle, waggle, waggle. Like, may I? There is a particular move I would like to take now that everyone is kind of gone, or did we want her? Did the villain need to do something? I always get a little. Oh, there's no initiative system in PBTA.
As the three of you are standing in front of Melancholia, and as like the threads of her sorrow have been broken away for a time, she looks at you all, and she specifically looks at you, Eva, and she goes, "Interesting. But will you be able to protect everyone?" As her hands outstretched behind her, affecting the other communities, affecting the non-binary community, the furry community, the tourists that are like just here for like a fun time, It's like it's too like the pride parades are like so big when they're where they're from. Like we just want like something like small.
Ooh.
Like all of them are enraptured by insecurity, and as she absorbs this, the cracks in her face start to heal.
I'm gonna put my hand on the sugar skull, which is, like I said, it's gotten bigger, and then the eyes on the skull glow, and then Behrel's eyes also glow, and I'm using the move Knowledge from Beyond. When you consult
Okay.
with your minion, roll plus mystical. On a 10 plus, you gain a piece of beneficial knowledge about the situation. Tell the GM what it is. And then on 7 to 9, the GM will tell you a piece of knowledge about the situation that may or may not be beneficial. There we go.
Remember, you get a +1 ongoing from.
+1 ongoing, and then I have +2 mystical.
I will say the +1 from Aspera with the Astrolabe cancels out the Be Vigilant roll.
Okay, gotcha.
It replaces it.
It replaces it. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Nope, that's Brigwin's the truth. All right, we're just gonna have to just hope and pray. Here we go. 4, 5. No.
Is that a
Wait, no,
6?
hold on. I rolled a 4 and a 1. That's a
That's
5.
5.
Plus 2. That's 7.
That's
and
7.
Plus 1 for the ongoing. That's 8.
It's 8. So what happens on a 7 to 9?
On a 7 to 9, the GM will tell you a piece of knowledge about the situation that may or may not be beneficial.
Let's see.
It's like if I roll high, I get to make it up. If I roll low, you have control over it.
As you're watching this, Sueño, with your connection with sadness, you turn your eyes on Melancholia and you realize that in her robe, it has like this sort of like... It wasn't the cosmos pattern that you may have seen from a distance. It's actually this sort of like fractured pattern along the gown in which it looks like shattered glass, and like the fractures like that come from that, from like an impact point, and the impact point is centered on her heart. That is the information you get.
Okay. I am going to say, I know you've been hurt, but I don't actually want to fight you. How can I help?
That statement sort of makes her stop and like tilt her head, and like she stops absorbing the sadness, with the leather community sort of like stepping in and like getting people out of here. And she focuses on you, Sueño. You know my pain.
I can see it. And I feel it.
She
And
slowly
if it's okay.
She slowly floats towards you, seemingly searching into you. Death is not the same as heartbreak, young one. And she just unleashes this wave of sorrow right at you in the epicenter.
Oh.
I will say,
Is that a thwart peril? Thwart peril. I'm learning.
This is a keep your wits about you.
Oh, it's a keep my wits about me. Okay, cool. No, I got it. I got this.
Roll plus persona. So what you're trying to do is not be overwhelmed, because even if you understand sadness, it's such a powerful emotion that even you can be overwhelmed by it.
So there's this explosion of sadness, and then I am the flavor for how I'm going to roll it is there's a moment where I close my eyes and the audience can see a vision of a funeral, and my character, younger, standing by this grave holding a rose, and you can see the name on the tombstone is Lupita Lopez, like mother, activist, community leader,
Oh, we
and
getting in it.
he
Okay.
puts the rose like down into the pit. This is his strength
Mm-hmm.
because he's being overwhelmed with sadness. And I kind of imagine that this is like relationship sadness and heartbreak and all this other stuff. But the sadness that he understands and has refuges, that's the source of his power, is the sadness of mourning. It's sort of like the inversion of love. It's like what Vision said. What is
What is grief?
grief
What is grief and
but
not love persevering?
love persevering? Right. So,
I was wondering if we were going to get a WandaVision reference.
uh,
Also, Aspera and what is your hero name, Eva?
Wyvern.
oh, Wyvern.
It's Wyvern. Gotcha. Wyvern and Aspera also. I need you to roll Keep Your Wits About You, because even if Sueño is in the epicenter, it's a big ass cone. So
It's a cone
Y'all
of
are also gonna get
sadness.
hit.
It's a literal cone of sadness, is what we're talking about here, people.
Cone of sadness. Yes.
All right, thwart peril is it mental, physical? No, not thwart
No.
peril. It's
Keep Your
keep your
Wits
wits
About
about
You
you.
is plus persona.
Persona. Okay. And then we've got the nah. Even with the +1 ongoing, I only got a 5.
So roll a mark an experience and get a PowerPoint.
I got a 9.
Also, I realize that gaining PowerPoints is we can do this together. Not in this one shot. That y'all don't know each other.
right. We
I'm
just
saying
met.
that there are other ways. Failure also gives you PowerPoints. You can also use
Yeah.
we can do this together. But yeah. So Wyvern got a 9. Sueño got a 5. What did Aspera get?
What are we rolling plus again?
Persona.
Persona. $11.
Okay, Aspera, you're fine. You're good. Like,
Aspera, I think with astrolabe in hand, is still twirling it and kind of just catches a glimpse of whatever's coming and moves out.
like I just imagine like there's like this scene where Aspera does get hit, but it rewinds like within the astrolabe, and Aspera's like, nope, and then just dodges.
Yeah. Um. Aspera is frequently just fucking around with what they can see in the future
Yeah.
using this.
Precognitives, gotta love them. Wyvern, you got a 9, right?
Yes, that is correct. I got a 9.
Ooh, so that is a worse outcome, hard choice, or an extra price to pay.
GM.
Here's the extra price. Nope, hard choice.
Ah,
Hard choice
fuck.
here.
Why you gotta
You
do
can
this
fully
every
avoid this
time?
attack, but it will catch because choice paralysis is fun.
Damn it.
When I'm not going through it. You can avoid the attack and avoid the sorrow, but your exes get hit. Or you can just tank it.
I'll tank it. I'm gay. What do you want from me? This is not going to work out in my favor.
So, for the moment, all of Wyvern's insecurities when it comes to her past relationships, all the did I mess up? Did I do this? Did I do that? Like, maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe we could, maybe this could have been something other than like a summer, like, vibe. All that hits immediately. How does that? I understand that's just Tuesday. But it's Tuesday plus the bad vibes of a Monday.
Ah, why you gotta add a bad Monday vibe to it? It's not fair.
And for a moment, I think we see Wyvern buckle.
Damn
you're
it.
a little out of the fight for a bit.
Damn it. It's not fair. It's not fair.
Aspera, what are you going to do?
I think I was gonna ask if I could try to like thwart Pale to some extent and pull the consequences off of the others, but I don't know if that works that way. So like maybe not.
This
Um,
is mental stress because
yeah,
this is emotion, so that's why it was keep your wits about you.
yeah.
My
Um,
apologies, I didn't get into Sueño's consequences.
oh
Oopsie
yeah.
doodle. Sueño, even though you're muted, by the way.
Yeah, do I take a condition? Like, I'm curious. I'm like, maybe I got so overwhelmed by the memory of the
Let's
funeral.
see. Since Sueño is a goth, I don't think self doubting will be the thing that hits hardest. I think with that 5, I think you realize, even though this is your inner strength, understanding sadness, understanding this pain within people, maybe you're not as good at it as you think. Maybe your solo experiences and your like experience up to this point has led you not astray, but has limited you to understanding where your power comes from. And as a result, as you question, like, do I really understand sadness? I would like you to take the mundane condition.
Oh
You
no.
somehow lost a connection to the other world, and things seem a little things seem less bright, affecting the mystical stat.
Oh, that's my strongest stat.
So
Oh,
reduce that stat by 1.
oof.
Your companion, Pero, was it right?
Yeah.
They start to sort of judder out a little bit, like, whoa, 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 whoa. Get your head in the game, kid, please.
Right, right. He like shakes his head a little bit. He kind of looks up. Um,
The glowing markings on Pero seem a bit dim. Your your robes don't flow as they usually do. They do seem a little bit more limp.
I say in response to all of this, you're right. Grief isn't the same as heartache. It's a different pain, knowing that they're still around. You can't be them with anymore. But it's like a kind of death. And I hope you can understand that I know where you're coming from and that you don't have to do this. And I'm going to take a gamble and I'm going to try and touch their heart. Um, if
Okay.
that's okay. The plus
No,
one
no.
ongoing, I think negates my -1 to emotional. So it's just a straight roll.
Okay.
But oh wait, I have power points. I can only spend 1 power point at a time, right?
No, you can spend 1 to gain +1 on a roll, you can spend 2 to gain advantage on your next roll. You can spend points equal to the number of heroes +1 additional to roll a team attack.
Right. I don't know
So
if I
you
can do
can
that.
help you can help one of your rolls. You can also like save those up for when it's like, okay, we need to focus and like get this done.
That's true.
It's
I
just
think, yeah.
it's what you want to do.
Uh, I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna save the PowerPoint, and we
Okay.
will see if this works. Nope. I rolled a 3.
All non-clash actions against this target suffer a -1. So what?
Oh,
So what was the intent of Sueños? Where I was like, look, you don't have to do this. I may not understand everything about sadness, but like I can understand heartbreak.
yeah.
Was that the vibe?
Essentially, that was the vibe. Yeah, I was trying to help, and then I just maybe I'm too cold for this.
As you start to speak these words, as you are a bit more mundane, the words falter. Like these aren't the right words. They worked in the past. Like you have understood sorrow, but now facing against this being that's just pure for loco sadness.
Yeah.
Like maybe maybe you don't have the right words. And as those words falter, Melancholia looks to you and goes, I think you should be silent. She uses whatever remaining energy she has. You can see that this is a limited resource, but you also, all of you also get the idea that you haven't seen what she can do on her own. You know that you just know that the feelings just enhance her magics. She encases you in a bubble
Oof.
of just pure sorrow. And as she does, I'm gonna make this hurt and I'm so sorry. Happy Pride.
Oh.
Pero fades. And as you are separated, the skull sort of like. The skull, still in its enlarged form, is in Pero's place. Outside of the bubble.
Oh.
You removed
You are still
the
transformed.
dog?
You still have your abilities. Didn't kill the dog. Can't kill something that's technically dead.
That's the worst
Oh.
thing you could say.
Oh.
It's worse. It would have been terrible if you just said, "Yeah, I killed the dog." It's worse that you're like, technically, I can't actually do that because it's already dead. That's worse.
That's worse. He's just going to be shocked and put his hands on the sphere and look pleadingly through the makeup, through the mystique at the other two that are there, um, and just
Wyvern
say,
and Asperia, you see this other
Help.
hero just like begging for help. Their words have failed them. And as this bubble happens, a crack starts to form again on the visage of Melancholia. What do you
I
two
think
do?
I think Nuna kind of rushes in, but not towards Melancholia. I don't think Nuna fully cares about Melancholia. I think he's like, sucks for you. Don't know what the fuck you're doing with this.
Hey, Conchana.
No, no. It's not like that. It's like it sucks that you're going through this, but also why are you hurting someone? That's rude. Don't do that. Um that's rude. Just rude
weed
behavior is
be.
not rewarded. And Nuna's also saying like strategically maybe dealing with them would be the best thing first, but I think strategically grabbing this other person would help to have just the numbers on the side. And so I think they head over to Sueño, Sueño,
Sonia. Hmm.
Sueño,
Yep.
um, and Aspera tries to just begins to, I think, pulling with this astrolabe, just turning on, tries to almost deconstruct this bubble of sorrow that is enveloping Sueño.
Swanio, do you try to assist in this?
Um. Uh, yes, however I can. I see them deconstructing, and then I sort of like take the fan, and then I'm sort of spinning it around and focusing the sadness and trying to pull as much as the energy of sorrow into my fan and into
Just trying to
myself
direct and trying
to
to.
kind of direct the flow so that it's easier for a sparrow to find a weakness. Because if I'm pulling the energy away from the edges, then a sparrow might be able to better create an opening to get me out.
So I would argue that this is a we can do this together roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And since Sueño is trying to aid mystically, Aspera roll plus mystical.
Okay.
I'll say for the sake of this one shot, your relationships are cooperative.
Sweet.
Okay, cool. Um, Part of me almost wants to see if I could argue for plus mental because we're trying to do this together and put puzzle pieces together. But okay,
You are using a mystical astrolabe and a magic fan.
listen. I think I'm generally approaching things. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait, we're +2 to this compared to a +4.
But
So
you do get a +1 due to
no,
that
that's
fantastic.
that's with the +1 from myself.
Oh,
Oh, with so that'd be +3. Okay,
You
yeah.
got this.
because I get it from Sueño a +1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh, I was saying that the character that you're aiding gains one PowerPoint always. So since Sueño, you're aiding Aspera, you get a PowerPoint. I was saying that the +1 from your earlier,
Oh no, the
like,
+1 from mine makes it a +2.
gotcha. I was wrong. So it is at a +2.
Yeah, it's just a +2.
You got this.
Uh, that's a 7.
I will say, so give your target +1 to their next roll, but you put yourself in danger. I will
Okay.
say you managed to form a weakness in the bubble. The bubble is still intact,
Mm-hmm.
but with a good slice of the fan, Sueño could get out of there. But Melancholia turns to you, Espera.
Yeah, I think Aspada's back is just entirely exposed because they basically just had to get in between.
Well, isn't that an interesting little tool? As her eyes start to like glow with blue energy, I would like you. I would like you to roll a clash, but use mental.
Mm.
Not even Catholic. Uh, I'm not even Catholic, and I do the sign of the cross, and it's really funny. Okay. Oh, God bless. Sign of the cross helped out. That will be. Give me a second. Have to do the math. 12, 16.
I will
'Cause I
say,
rolled
as
two
she
sixes.
tries to use her magics to disrupt the spinning of your astrolabe, you get this sort of. Excuse me, miss. Do you mind not scratching on the hardwood floors right next to me? My dog does not care about my recordings. My dog does not give a shit.
He's upset that you banished the dog.
No, she has free reign. It's just that like she's just like, oh, you're doing a little recording thing. I don't give a shit. This is still my house. She as she tries to use her magics to disrupt the spinning of the astrolabe shining with the colors of that peacock. Kepler goes, I think the fuck not.
Oh!
And it spins
Hell
even
yeah,
faster,
Kepler.
giving you enough guidance. Choose an enhance effect.
Okay. I need to find it.
All magical heroes get +1 forward. You suffer no damage. Inflict
Yeah.
double damage. Force the enemy to flee.
Um. Ooh. I
I will say you
think.
suffer no damage for this because you did get such a high roll. So that's
Yeah.
just
I
free.
want to. I rolled the maximum amount I could potentially roll in this game. Essentially, just now. Like I rolled a 16. because that's about as high as we can get.
So
Um,
epic.
so yeah, I think suffer no damage. I think that Nuna fully just sees whatever is coming as it
You suffer no
as
damage automatically, by the way.
oh,
You're gonna get an additional.
automatically.
You're
Oh,
gonna
I
get
just
Yeah.
an
get an
additional
extra.
one.
Okay.
Yeah, because you rolled pretty dang high. So I'm just like,
Yeah, that's true. I did.
the power of Kepler saying, I think the fuck not, means no damage to you or your astrolabe.
I think your attack inflicts double the normal damage. I think that this astrolabe in Nuna's hand spins faster and faster, and even though they go to try to disrupt it with their hand, it just hits the hand. I don't think it cuts anything, but I think it just causes bruises across their hand as they try to stop it. And
I
it's just like,
think I think
I'm
there's like
metal,
a
I'm spinning.
feedback loop of the mystical energy as that astrolabe is spinning, and it just redirects that power, and the power hits Melancholia. She goes flying into a car,
Ooh,
Ooh.
shit.
one of the
Sorry.
tourists' cars.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's rough.
Wyvern, as she is knocked off her feet, the insecurities fade. You are back in the fight. What you doing?
Sorry, could you say that again?
As Melancholia is blasted off of her feet, colliding within the car, the insecurities that have taken you out of the fight fade. Your resolve is returned. What do you do?
I think she says Nidhogg to me, and the little dragon like flaps over to her and gives her a set of like very bird-like dragon wings, and she's just going to leap up high into the air and try and like descend down onto her directly. I think she saw Sueño trying to react, and she's just going, "Nah, diplomacy has failed. This is not a time for trying to talk to this person. She's
Enough
actively
talking.
being harmful. Enough talking. We have actively we've sought peace and it has failed. We must engage in other measures."
So as the tiny dragon melds into your armor and its wings expand to give you full-size dragon wings, I just imagine Wyvern going, "Peace has failed." Whoosh. Roll that clash.
Pieces fail to remain a viable option at this point. We're going for something more intense. Now, please roll higher than like a 4 this time. My rolls have been like 4 and 5 with bonuses. That'll do. That is a 10 exactly.
So you do damage equal to your weapon or your physical stat. And you choose one extra effect.
Yep, her weapon is sharp, so she does +1 damage to her clash moves in general. And I am gonna force her to be where I want them to be. So essentially, as I land down, I'm going to like crash in the ground around her, and the wings are just going to like wrap around her, and the whole time that the wings are wrapped around her, it's like encasing her in a circle of fire.
You see Wyvern crash down, wings spread and wrapping around Melancholia. Melancholia looks at you and she just says, "How could you get past that?"
Okay, I'm trans, I'm depressed, and I have PTSD. This is pretty standard for me, hon.
As the wings then wrap around her in the circle of flame. It seems that Wyvern is keeping Melancholia right where she wants her. Sueño, you are still in the bubble, but the bubble has been weakened. What do you do? You're muted.
I would like to push out of the bubble and then look at a sparrow, even though I don't know that's their name. I will look at them and I will say, I have a feeling that you and I are of a mind. We should we should work together with our winged friend and put down this threat once and for all. And I like unleash like my fan and start moving forward, and you can start seeing like energy of like those wet like linen, oh, excuse me, cotton kind of pieces of fabric from La Lorna, and a little bit of water and darkness and shadow and blue energy with the edge of the fan kind of glowing with the blue energy, the crystal skulls, like it's all kind of glowing. You see the cobalt, the eyes like on the skull, like start to glow again. I would like to go in for an epic team attack. If the rest of the group is down with that.
As Sueño stands strong out of the bubble, and even with the mundane condition, stands firm in what makes them tick, Pedro reappears, sort of like shaking, like, okay, let's do this.
So
So
exciting.
let's go for that team attack. You will need to spend points equal to the number of heroes plus one additional point. That is 4 points.
Oh no, I only have three. Oh wait, does that total all of us as a collective?
Yes, all of you
Oh,
can
okay.
contribute.
Okay.
I think I have one, two. I don't know. Two.
I will say y'all have enough.
Okay. Yeah, I know I have at least
So
one. I haven't really been failing my rolls, is the problem here.
that's fair.
Well, I have three that I can throw in. That way, each one of you only have to contribute like one.
I'll toss in my one. Yeah.
Okay. You can spend another point for the number of heroes plus two for advantage. I will say Wyvern has a PowerPoint.
So that will make it a total of five.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um.
So the person who initiates the team attack, so it would be Sueño,
Okay.
rolls plus emotional with advantage. So 3d6 plus
Ah,
emotional and drop the lowest.
this is my rainbow die.
Heck
It's
yeah.
very bright. That's my advantage die because I knew this system used advantage. I'm very excited. All
Um,
right, so
quick
I
question.
will. Sure.
To break out of the bubble, did you did that? Yeah?
I just slashed with the fan, and
Yeah.
Okay,
Caleb didn't
because
count
it
it as an
says
action.
the target gains +1 to their next roll. Oh, actually,
Oh,
I have two to my
Oh!
so you get +2 both from my ongoing and +1 from that. From me. I actually have an
I
extra power pool, I just realized, but
I will say, because it's a one shot and I can do whatever I want, because Wyvern is holding Melancholia in place, that's also a plus one.
I'm
okay.
just giving we're just giving you
All
+1.
right, so I've
Yeah.
gained a total of.
Plus three emotional with advantage.
Whew, here we
Plus
go.
3 emotional with advantage is amazing.
Okay, let's see here. Drop the lowest one, which was a 1. That's 10. Plus 3, that's 13. Minus 1, my emotional, because I'm cold. But that's a
It's a
12.
12. As your energies coalesce, two of sadness and one, I don't think we. What was Wyvern's emotional?
Trust. Wyvern is trust.
Oh. So
Oh,
As the two of you, the two mystics of this group, come together and coalesce your energies with the fan and the astrolabe, you notice something interesting rising from Wyvern. Though she doesn't know the two of you, there's something within this moment that makes you all realize we have each other's backs. We were able to come together and save Pride from this really sad person. Maybe we should do this again sometime. And as those energies coalesce, Sueño, you. Actually, how does Sueño carry out the team attack?
Sueño heads forward and then eventually lets the fan go, and then the fan starts to spin, and the astrolabe has like streams of energy coming out of it, like kind of empowering the fan, and then I imagine like Ava's wings, Wyvern's wings, start to glow with what color? It starts to sort of like the color of trust, essentially, and they sort of mix into this flickering, almost cosmo rainbow colored, as the fan just impacts right on that area of broken glass, the wound that I saw on Melancholia. And then
as the fan spins, we see the dog, the peacock, the dragon all trail afterwards in cosmic energy representations, all trailing after it. And as it hits dead center with that heart, we see a single tear, and Melancholia mutters, "It was all for nothing," as she explodes in this rainbow of light and cosmic energy. Pride has been saved. As the three of you stand, the protectors of Star Valley, with your companions, the future is uncertain, but you know that you are not alone. And that's what we're going to call it.
yes! Oh,
Thank you so much for listening to this Pride One Shot of Crime Invented Actual Plays. Thank you so much, Hector, for coming.
yes.
I hope that this was an awesome first time on the podcast.
This is wonderful. I had such a great time. Just I love this podcast. I love this community, and I'm so glad that through everything I was able to come and play with you amazing people. I had a really great time. Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride, everybody. Shall we go and say, hi, I was this person, I played this person?
Yes.
I mean, we can do plugs if we want, but it's Pride. There's no rules, so there should.
Well,
We don't let
the
the
new
straights
person,
in.
so
That's
or
our one
newish,
rule.
So no, that's
Our
our
one
one
rule.
rule. But what if they're brown? We have brown straight friends. They're cool, right?
Still straight. It's the
I
problem.
kid.
I also don't want to recast Ash.
No. I will start. As I said, I'm Hector Reyes. My pronouns are he, they. You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Keiichi Okami. You can also find me on Itch, where I write little independent queer games for people to play.
Theta?
Hi, I'm Theta. They, them pronouns. You can find me on Twitter and itch at Jobu_Tapaki, where I play games. I guess I'm going to be DMing a few games in the upcoming 2-3 months.
Meow, meow, meow,
I know, awful.
I'm
Somebody
ready for you to
decided I
teach me how to
should
play
DM a
Pathfinder.
game. I don't know why. Who gave me permission?
I want to learn how to play Pathfinder, so it's entirely selfish for why I'm
No.
supporting you running a game.
I'm going to be
Get
running.
ready for the trial of GMN.
I've done it before. We should know. I've DM'd campaigns before. I just don't do it publicly frequently.
It's
But
a
I'm going
whole
to be
different
DMing
beast.
Salted Legacy as
Every time I try to get out, they just pull me right back in.
No, I'm going to be DMing a mini campaign of Salted Legacy and a mini campaign of The Wicked and the Divine. I know. And I also make games. That's why I have an itch. Jobo_Tapaki, once more. Yes, like the character from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Don't know if I could say that. If so, just bleep that out. And I recently published a game inspired by said movie. It's called The Bagel Game. It's ridiculous. I love it.
I'm sure you can say it. No worries.
It's fine. Nobody's got fucking copyright us. That implies they listen half the time. Sorry.
If there's a problem, I'll edit it. No worries. And last but certainly not least, Angela.
On that fantastic note, hello there, lovely listeners. I'm Angela. I use she, her pronouns, and I was fortunate enough to play Ava. You can catch me in a lot of different places. Number one, I am over on Girls Run These Worlds, playing in Lancer on Wednesdays, where against type, I play a butch lesbian, as I am like femme for life, probably, like always and forevermore. But I play a leader who is having a time. I just had a very emotional scene with someone during our last session. I nearly cried again in a game. It was a lot. But there's that. I am involved on the last Saturdays of this month in a Nahual game over on TTRPG called The Contaminated, which has been great with an all Latina cast. And I am also one of the writers on the recently released Slayer's Almanac, where my district gets to be alongside 9 other amazing writers contributing to the Slayer's RPG by Spencer Campbell. I am a freelance musician, a poet at Philosophem who has, I think at last count, 238 poems up on that Patreon. And also, I'm on Itch at Voice of
Nice.
the Phoenix, where about a month or two ago, I released my first ever game, Flame in the Abyss, alongside over this latter half of this past year, 20 playbooks for the Slayer's RPG, with a Berserk inspired playbook coming relatively soon. So, and maybe a Castlevania one as well once I figure out whether I lean into the polycule aspects or the classic item crush aspects. I'm torn between both of them. And last but not least, I'll say this for the record, Bagel Game is really awesome.
Polycule.
Bagel Game is really, really great. Folks should take a look at it. And that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I have been your GM. My name is Caleb Wade. My pronouns are he, they. You can find me on Twitter at CalebIsBelog. You can also find any updates when it comes to the podcast at creme_demented. That's CREME_DEMENTED. You can also hear the lovely voices of Angela and Theta on Heroes of New Halcyon, a City of Mist game that we recorded last year. Bi-weekly releases. Unfortunately, I missed a week last week, so there will be this week was episode 5. Next week will be episode 6, and we'll be back to bi-weekly releases, also with the release of this game. So as you're hearing this, there may be another podcast you can listen to. I am currently in the process of trying to decide whether I want to edit everything and then release everything before casting for a second season of Chronometric Actual Plays with a completely different game, a completely different cast, and a completely different setting within the United States, or I should just fucking chill and, and calm the fuck down. There's also a Riverdale podcast that I want to revitalize here soon. So, but yeah, you can find us. You can find this podcast anywhere, major platforms like Pocket Cast, Spotify, Amazon Music, all that jazz. And we will see you next time. And once again, Happy Pride. Hi, gay. Bye.
Bye. Happy Pride.
Bye.
Bye. Happy
Happy
Pride,
Pride.
everybody.
Thank you so much for listening to Protectors of Star Valley, our Glitter Hearts Pride one-shot. This one-shot was recorded in Riverside.fm and edited on Audacity, with music from Epidemic Sound. This one-shot was produced, edited, and GM'd by Caleb Wade. Our performers are Angela Moravejo, Hector Reyes, and Theta Chun. Links to where you can find everyone will be in the description below. Thank you for listening, and let your heart shine bright this Pride. You are loved, and you are not alone.